What's up, you guys? Joker back. Today I'm very excited to show you the new Nerpa from IRT, which is based on the SSO or Spasen Nerpa, which is, I don't know if you would call it a chest rig or a LBV, load bearing vest, but either way it's a pretty simple construction of how you can carry your magazines and some small equipment, and we'll go through it in some detail, what I think is good and what I think could be better. But then again, since this is a replica, what I think could be better is not necessarily aimed at IRT, is much more of the whole original design that maybe I think could be better. But to start with, as you all can see, this has a very avicent fading, and avicent is a specific kind of material that was very popular during the early 2000s in Russia. It's a pretty durable material, and it's also kind of a bit high class on some gear. So if you have avicent, it's a little more appreciated. That doesn't mean that other material is necessarily worse or bad, but avicent is always very popular. And as far as my knowledge, IRT has made some products based on avicent material, and it's been actual avicent, but a lot of people have not always been satisfied with the correct color fading and tones of the material. And I think IRT really hit the spot with this one. They've done a great job. The fading and the whole golden bronze fade looks very, very, very good. So to start with, as you can see here, we have 4 mag pouches. Each pouch fits 2 magazines, and in here there's a divider, so you have the magazine in each separate slot. You also have Velcro and a buttoning system here, so you can have it on just Velcro, or if you want to make sure it's really secure, you have the button. Same here, nothing different on all the 4 pouches. Now, what I think is really good is that you can see that the material seems very durable, so they've done a good job here. Nothing to worry about. I wouldn't be afraid that this would fall loose or anything. Stitching looks very good. Also looks similar to the other stitching you would find on a partisan harness or just a Smirch overall with the whole stitching here. So it's pretty good. Now on the lower part here, you'll see that there's a buckle. You can strap it through a pretty long way. Also here in the middle you see that there's a zipper. Now when I posted this on some forums, people were like, oh, but I don't think there's a zipper. I've actually found pictures of an avicent model, since it's older, that has zippers. So as far as I know, IRT has done a pretty accurate job so far. You can open up the zipper here. As you'll see here, you have belt loops, so you can actually, you could just wear it like this if you want to, or if you want, you could also put in a belt, which is pretty good if you want to add some extra pouches, maybe a dump pouch hanging, or some magazine pouches in the belt. I've seen a lot of people use the typical, I think it's Spasen 31 something belt, which is the typical Smirch belt, a hard, durable duty belt that will do just fine. As you can see on the belt loops, there's a button and Velcro to make sure that the belt doesn't fall out loose. So that's very good. You can keep it very secure here. We can take a little look here on the side. There's a sheet here, or a space that, as I'm pretty sure, is made for knives. So if you have a bigger knife, or maybe a classic AK-74 bayonet, you can have it in here and you secure it so it doesn't fall out with this Velcro loop here. I'm pretty sure this would also work maybe for a smaller kind of flare, even though I don't think that's specifically what it's made for. I'm pretty sure that would work. Here on the side is a little multi-purpose pouch. I wouldn't say grenade pouch because it's bigger than typical Russian grenade pouches, but it will definitely work for grenades. But I can imagine that you will probably have some kind of first aid kit or similar in these pouches here. You also have one of these on the other one, and you also have the space for a knife here. So I mean, it also depends if you're a righty or a lefty. But you have the pouch here too. So this is the front. If I'm just gonna talk about the fabric and such, I think they've done a pretty good job. I don't have a real SSO Nerpa to compare with. I've only actually seen Nerpas on pictures, so I've never had any much experience with a real one. But overall, fabric feels good. So I thought we were gonna take a look at the back. So let's do that. Alright you guys, so we're taking a look at the back of the Nerpa. As you can see, there's not any MOLLE spacing here or anything. There's a space here that possibly you could attach some kind of pouch for, or something here in this way, but I don't think that it's specifically made for that. As you can see also here, you have the belt loops here on the back part. What you also find here is elastic strings, which is made for actually securing how loose or tight you want the Nerpa to sit on your body. I think that it's very noticeable that it's secured on the back. It's almost like an old-time corset, so it sits very good once you secure it. And I can imagine that, I never tried it with a belt, but if you use a belt, it will definitely not budge or move. So I think that's very good. Another smart thing that they have done that comes along is you have these kind of small rubber bands here to make sure that the extra fabric or extra strings from once you have secured it doesn't flop around and hang. So you could just pile it up here and you have it. So I think that's pretty smart. We have seen people, operators, Airsoft players, everybody using blue tape. You could do that, but these also come along from the start. So that's very good. You also find these ones on the front here, on the chest part here, on the straps on the front of the chest. You also find these rubber elastic bands to keep the rest of the rope secure. One noticeable thing I find very interesting is that you'll see that the shoulder party here is very large. I don't know if that's to actually distribute weight more balancedly or if it's just the design. I think it's kind of odd. I'm very used to the more slim LBV or something like you would find out of a Smirch or a partisan harness. I don't think this necessarily makes it worse or anything. I just don't really think it's the best looking design, but it's very obvious that this one, like other Russian webbing systems, are based on old American LBVs, load-bearing vests, and I'm not sure of the exact model of the American version, but there is one that is very, very similar. If you would play Metal Gear Solid 5, I think you would see that one of the earlier vests that one of the main characters in the game had actually resembled this very much to the back parting. We can take a look on the inside, what the material is actually like. So let's flip it over and take a look at that. Alright you guys, what you have here is some kind of typical inside inner vest material. You'll find this kind of glossy, smooth material inside body armors and other kinds of vests. As far as I've known and seen from original Nerpas, they also have this kind of lining and inside. There is some kind of cushioning in here, probably to make it less uncomfortable since it's going to sit tight on your body. So there's some kind of, almost feels like a sitting mat or something very close to that material in here. So that's very comfortable, pretty good idea. And I can't just say that this is all based on IRT's own decision, because probably it's based on the original design. Unfortunately, I never encountered a real Nerpa, so I can't really say very much about that. All I can say is what I think about what I see here. And if we go over to the shoulder pads, you'll see that they're also stuffed. There's a lot of space here, so it's not like they're going to be one of the bad things about Smirches or partisan harnesses, that since they're so small, and they're also not necessarily very good stuffed with soft cushioning material. So I think that's a good idea that you have a lot of space here. You also see you have mesh material here to probably help it breathe and not make so much sweat on your shoulders. So it's pretty good. Smart design. if we take just a quick look here on the front again, you'll see that there is small hooks here for possibly hanging some kind of Smirch backpack. You can use the ropes here. There's also other day packs you could attach to the system here. You could probably use Alice clips or old Alice systems here for maybe a radio pouch or similar. But it's all according to your own configuration and style and preference. Overall, I would say that this is a pretty good skirmish vest. I wouldn't necessarily use this one in a milsim that's maybe 4 days or something like that. I would prefer a Smirch because you have the day pack and also feels like you can fit more in a Smirch. But this one would probably be good for CQB games and maybe 1 day, 2 day long milsim games or whatever. But I'm very impressed, and all I have to say is a really nice cred. I know there were a lot of positive reactions to the Avicent material because this time it looks very much more correct than what IRT has done before, and people were impressed, and so am I. So hats off to that. This one will be available to buy from skirmshop.nl, which is a web-based store and a real store in Netherlands, but it hasn't been officially released yet. IRT was actually very happy and very nice enough to help me acquire this to make a review out of it. So I don't have any information of the prices yet. What I do suggest is that you check out Skirmshop's web pages and IRT's pages, and I will link them in the description. So make sure you leave a comment what you guys thought about this. Do you have a real Nerpa or anything else? What do you think? What don't you like? Let me know. Don't forget to leave a like, of course share and comment like I said, and of course subscribe. And until next time, Joker out. One last thanks to IRT for helping me acquire this so I can make this review. Thank you very much. Joker out.